actually wanna tell me how is this going to turn out. Doesn't look scary to me. Like
Despite being an only child, I never had a good relationship with my parents. We haven't been close in years. At the first opportunity, I left home in search of peace, until one day, I suddenly realized I missed them. However, reaching out in the normal sense wasn't really an option. I didn't remember either of their phone numbers, nor did I keep in contact with any of their friends or relatives. I had completely disappeared from the family, and I only knew one way back, by returning to my childhood home. The thought of it terrified me. They had to be retired after all these years. I had no idea if they could still afford the old house. Of course, I could only find out by going there. I put it off for months, just recently mustering the courage using Father's Day as an excuse. A large part of me was genuinely hoping I wouldn't find them, but when I arrived, I could tell they were still there. The house had the grimy, unkempt look it always had because they never took care of anything. I hesitated, thinking it might be better if I just left it at confirming they were still around, but not actually meeting with them. But I forced myself out of the car anyway. I walked up onto the old front porch, and with a lump in my throat, rang the doorbell for the first time in 2 decades. It didn't work.
to actually start off the video, it kind of gives me those vibes, ne? But it's not scary at all. Bro, it's not scary at all. It's not.
I wish I could have just taken that as a sign to run away and let them think it was just some kids playing around. But I stayed there until the door opened. What do you want? Dad, it's me, your son. Oh my God, it is you. Come here.
Why did I make an animation like this, bro? And I'm wondering if this is a true story or not.
Whoa, ow! You look as young as the day I lost you. Let me go. You taste just as good.
Pause.
Two. I won't ever let you go again, boy. Now give your daddy some sugar. Dad, let me go. Wow, somebody got strong. What, you just come here to beat on your old man? No, it's Father's Day. I just wanted to catch up with you guys. Is Mom home? Well, it's not Mother's Day, is it? No. She's asleep. Maybe she'll wake up in a bit. Come on in. All right. So? What do you think? Looks just like the house I moved out of. Thanks. You hungry? No thanks. I ate before I came. Besides, I think something's gone bad in the fridge. Oh, must be. You know I never had the sense of smell in the family. That was your mother. Was? Is she? Since she's asleep. Now don't you bother her. I'm just gonna go find something for us to eat in the garage freezer. But I said I'm not hungry. Crazy old bastard. I just want to see my mother.
Where would you fit it to?
Mom? Are you in there? Mom? No! Mommy! You idiot!
Yeah. Wow. So the father killed the mad. Wow. Wait, what? Why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Told you not to bother her! You come back here after all these years, and you still haven't learned how to listen to simple instructions. Let me go! You little bastard! That hurt!
Actually, watching this is actually kind of disgusting, not gonna lie.
Take your punishment, you brat! I ran out of there even faster than I did when I turned 18. I felt just like a terrified little kid again, fleeing without understanding what was happening anymore. It couldn't be. My mom was dead, and my dad was just living with her corpse. Every bit of healing I had accomplished had all been undone by a single moment that would haunt me forever. No matter how many terrible things I could say about my mother, I never wanted to see her like that. It took me a while after I drove off to pull myself together and call the police. Not like my dad would have time to dispose of the evidence or anything. They arrested him as soon as they arrived at the house, saw what I saw. Apparently, she had died over a month before I visited, potentially up to 3 months. They said it's difficult to tell when the decomposition is that far gone. My father never took her to get the medical care that could have saved her life, and after she died, he let her rot. Now, all I keep thinking is, I could have seen her one last time if I hadn't waited so long to visit. I might have even saved her life. Instead, this will be the last time I saw either of my parents on Father's Day.
This Father's Day story was inspired by a 68-year-old Lebanon County man who did not report his wife's death and continued living in a home with her body for at least a month. Evidence indicates that Michael Makula had been residing inside the home for at least a month after Charlotte.
So this is based on a true story. Wow. But why did the animation make it so ugly? If you're looking in real life, but it is. But the animation was like it's just on the video.
Passed and was aware of her passing and had taken measures to conceal her passing. At this time, there is no evidence to indicate Michael Makula sought medical treatment for Charlene, nor did he attempt to notify authorities of her passing. Michael initially told officers that his wife was not home. As officers spoke with Michael and began to check the home, Charlene Makula, 66, was located deceased within the home. Officers observed signs indicating Charlene was in a state of advanced decomposition. Charging documents say Charlene's family members made prior requests for well-being checks and said she suffered from mental health disorders. A neighbor who did not want to be identified said the new owners came to check on the property and asked nearby residents about the home. The neighbor said the new owners noticed a foul odor and called for a well-being check. Michael was charged accordingly.
This is the most disturbing case I have ever been a part of. Nothing even comes close. It was Father's Day. My shift had just started, and already things were shaping up for a miserable time. I'd left my family at home for the evening. Night had come early thanks to an overcast sky.
So far, no reaction, no, not scared at all. I don't know. How do they say this is scary? But anyways, I like the content. It's really. But swatch.
Which opened up to pissing rain as soon as things cooled off. It should have stayed warm, but it wasn't. It was colder than made sense, and something about it told me things weren't right. Pretty soon, I got the call. Double homicide in the trailer park. Apparently, some poor bastard tried to surprise his grandparents with a random visit, and found them both dead. Far from an ideal time for any of us. Alone, I raced to the outskirts of town. More units would be on their way, but someone had to get out there and take control of the situation before the whole trailer park turned into a zoo, and I happened to be the closest. When I got there, a small crowd was already gathering outside the trailer in question. The onlookers said the man had been screaming about his grandparents being dead, but went silent a few minutes after they called the police. He hadn't come out, and they were too scared to check on him. I made my way past them and up to the trailer. The door was wide open, and though the rain was starting to soak through my uniform, I felt no desire to rush inside. What I walked into, well, and I'd prefer to let my body cam footage speak for me. Here goes. Chester County Sheriff! Jesus. Confirmed double homicide. Third individual unharmed. Sir, are these your grandparents? Do me a favor and turn around for me. All right? Individual in shock. Sir, I need you to turn around.
Why? Why would they do this? It's Father's Day! How could they kill them?
Now that was a jump scare. It actually made me kind of scared. Why do they make their faces so like this?
My papa, my grand, they're all I had left. Why?
I know, bud. I know. It's a bad day, but you'll be all right. Let's get you out of here, okay? Come on. When I found Gene, he appeared to be an absolute wreck. One of the worst cases of shock I'd ever witnessed. I led him away from the gruesome scene and let him sit in the back of my car. I didn't close the door on him, though. Just wanted to keep him dry and away from prying eyes until an ambulance arrived to give him a checkup. Once they cleared him, we took his statement. Everything he said made it seem like he was genuinely distraught. Just found his grandparents brutally murdered. Nothing about him that night told any of us that things were different. We believed every word he said. Then we let him go. Months later, however, evidence started to stack up, and the evidence told us we'd made a mistake. The autopsy, the forensics collected at the scene, and the collection of witness statements we gathered across the county were making Gene's alibi flimsier and flimsier. With no other suspects but him, it was time to take Gene into the station for further questioning. Since I got the closest to him, I was the one who brought him in. I found him living in a house much nicer than his grandparents' trailer, with a brand new blue Mustang parked out front. These were hardly the purchases of a grieving man. There was a smile on his face, too. He couldn't get rid of it, not even when we sat him down in the interrogation room. He was just as mentally unstable as when I first saw him, but now in a completely different way. A sinking feeling in my gut told me I had been duped, so I did not hold back. I told Gene we had him dead to rights, laid out every single way I knew he was lying to me. It took several brutal hours of one-on-one interrogation, but I finally got him to crack.
You're right. I did it. I killed them. It broke my heart, but I ran full of lead. Jesus Christ. Why? If you love them so much, why the hell did you kill them? Why does anyone do anything for their money? Thanks to them, for their money.
Warning, I should have said this.
Thanks to them.
Warning, I should have said the video started. Before the video started. This is not for children. I am not a child. I'm legally allowed to watch this. So please, do not watch this in front of your parents, or else.
I had the best Father's Day ever.
Once you've looked into the eyes of a person and realized they are completely and truly broken, with no hope of ever being saved on this earth, you never forget that feeling. Every single Father's Day for the rest of my life, no matter what my kids do for me, I'll always be thinking about that psycho.
Gene Alexander Scott executed his grandfather in a plot for money, then turned the gun on his great-grandmother in a pair of killings on Father's Day in 2020. Gene Rogers, 61, and Billy Rogers, 78, were found taken out in their home. More than a year later, police arrested Scott at an army base in Germany where he was stationed. He joined the army after the deaths. Scott, a 26-year-old from Colombia who was in the Marines before the killings, pleaded not guilty. He has not been convicted of any crime in the case and has been jailed without bail pending trial. Scott created a phony alibi and used others to explain his whereabouts. After plotting the execution of his grandfather for weeks, Billy Rogers was killed so there was no witness. Scott was ultimately sentenced to 60 years in prison, where prosecutors said the motive was greed.
Can I ask a question? What do you get from this? Just saying, what do you get from this? From killing somebody? Yeah.
If I try, I can remember a better time when it was just me and Mom. She said she was always looking for someone to be my dad. I was too young to understand that I already had a father, but he'd run off and never came back. One day, Mom found somebody new and took him home. His name was Frank. I tried to like him, but I didn't understand why my mom wanted him to be my dad. They got married, and that night, I heard sounds from the master bedroom I wouldn't understand until I was much older. Then, just a few weeks later, for reasons I couldn't comprehend, cops came to the house and arrested my mother. They said she lied to the bank so I'd have to spend a few months in jail. They promised I'd see her again, but I never did. As soon as she was taken away, Frank turned into a monster. He beat me senseless and said it was my fault that Mom would never come home. And as punishment, I would have to do whatever he said. I couldn't have imagined that would mean being taken away from everything I'd ever known. Frank packed up his truck and threw me in the back seat. We drove for hours through the night before stopping in a random town I had never heard of. He said we'd be living there and that I had to forget my old name. Now, he said my name was Sharon. Frank, who I now fully saw as my father, enrolled me in school. That was my life for a long time. I always knew in the back of my head that I was living a lie, but it was easier to just go along with what my father told me was the truth. My name was Sharon. I never had a mother. Frank was my father. I graduated top of my class and earned a full scholarship for aerospace engineering, but sadly, I never got to use him. Frank uprooted us again. I wanted to fight against it, fight to stay in the life I had built. But it's like I was programmed to do whatever my father said, except this time, it wasn't his plan to remain my father. It wasn't his plan under new names. Frank and I were married. It was done at the courthouse. Nobody knew us there. I was numb throughout the whole thing. This just couldn't be happening. When we got back to the house we had just moved into, I went into autopilot. I started unpacking some of the boxes that were still laying around, trying to forget the circumstances of my life. But Frank had other ideas. No, Tanya. Now that I'm not your father anymore, I won't be able to celebrate Father's Day. That is, of course, unless you make me a father again.
I don't know what's gonna come here, but I'm just gonna skip this part.
I was walking home from the grocery store one night. Frank had sent me off to get a bunch of things and refused to let me take the car. There wasn't even a sidewalk. On a dark stretch of road, I saw my shadow fade into view in front of me. Then, quickly sharpen and shorten as a car sped toward me. I thought it would just pass by like every other car, Franklin Delano Floyd was already a convicted predator before he met Suzanne Marie Savakis at age 5, kidnapping her.
Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. We're just gonna end the video here because yes. Anyways, thanks for watching the video. Hope you like, comment, and subscribe. And we're gonna be dropping the next one. So